Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with a review of Soundcore's new Flare Plus speaker. So I did a review previously of the Soundcore Flare, and this is the big brother, the big kahuna, the super large, awesome, and really powerful Soundcore Flare Plus. Now it took everything that the Soundcore Flare did and it kicked it all up a notch. Now, I didn't see where there was a specific on exactly how much larger it is size-wise, but it looks about probably 30% larger than its predecessor, the Soundcore Flare. And they're both really good speakers. The Soundcore Flare is a little bit smaller. You can pick it up for about 50, 59 bucks. This one goes for $99.99, and you can pick it up on Amazon.com. It qualifies for their Prime 2-day shipping, and it is, as I like to say, the bee's knees. So a little bit about it. I'll show you the box here. So some of the cool stuff you've got going on here. Huge 360-degree sound. So it's got speakers built into it all the way around, so you get that full immersive sound experience. It has bass up mode, which kicks up the bass into overdrive, gives you a little bit extra kick and some oomph out of your speaker. It's got beat-driven LED light show, and that's done by the LED lights that are built into the bottom. It's fully waterproof with IPX7 water resistance, well, waterproofness. It's completely waterproof. It has stereo, wireless stereo pairing, which is very unique, and they started with the Flare, and it works as well with the Flare Plus. So if you have two of these speakers, it has two different Bluetooth connectivity modes. It has the primary Bluetooth connectivity mode where you connect the first speaker, and if you have a second one, and it actually even works with the regular Soundcore Flare. So you can pair a Soundcore Flare Plus and a Flare together, which is really nice. And it charges phones and tablets. Now this speaker does have quick charging. It takes 4 hours to fully charge it. It didn't say how many milliamps it has as far as the rating, but it's supposed to have 20 hours of playtime. Well, it charges the speaker itself, a quick charge 5-volt 2 amps. But if you want to plug something into the built-in USB-A, which is a typical USB connector, it's at 1 amp. So it's a little on the slow side, but you can still plug something in and charge it. It has dynamic power management, which it adapts the power output to what you're listening to and the volume. So based off of how you listen to your music, what the LED light show is looking like, and how much oomph you have kicking out of this thing, kind of dictates the playback life, but it's supposed to be up to 20 hours. And you can customize the music and lights in the app. And as you see there, the app is available for Android and Apple. So really cool. And I'll go ahead and show you what's inside the box. As far as accessories, it comes with a micro USB cable, which is what you use to charge it with. And then it has a little pamphlet that shows you how to connect it. So pay no attention to what's going on behind the scenes. I did just drop the rest of the box on the floor. So here we go. Here's the cable, and it's nice. It's got the built-in Velcro strap so you can tidy it up a little bit and make sure it stays nice and neat. But I'll go ahead and show you. I think it's right about a 3-foot cord. Might be a little bit less than that, but I think it's right at about 3 feet. So typical USB to micro USB charging cable, and that's how you charge this sucker. Of course, just like every other audio accessory under the sun, it doesn't come with a charging brick. And here's your quick start guide. Whoop. And then they have a little satisfaction card in here. So if you're happy or unhappy, you can reach out to them and let them know. Ta-da! And they like to hear your feedback. So now they have the speaker here in front of us. It's got this really nice mesh on it, which is the same thing that Soundcore Flare had on it. So it looks nice, it looks neat and professional. You can use it at home, you can use it at the office. I wouldn't recommend cranking it all the way up in the office because this sucker gets loud. On top here you have the controls. So this right here dictates you can turn the lights on and off, or you can change the colors. You have your volume up, volume down, volume up, your play and pause button, the bass up button, which is what kicks the bass into overdrive. And then over here on the front, you have your power button, your Bluetooth connectivity button, which, like I said, if you want to change the different Bluetooth mode, if you want to add the extra speaker. So here we go. I'll turn it on, and you'll know by the way that the light flashes. So it's just connected and paired because it's already set up with my phone. But if you wanted to pair it, This one slow flash like this means that it's in primary pair mode, which is what you have to do to connect it. And if you press it and hold it down and you get that double flash, that's whenever you want to set it up. So if you were going to set it up in stereo mode and use this as a second speaker, you would want it in this mode. So let me go back to the primary connectivity mode there. I'll show you. Go here, Soundcore Flare. There we go. And we're connected. And then it makes that little noise to let you know that it's connected. And then you've got all your lights lit up here. The bass up button, you can turn that on and off there. Now, as far as connectivity, and you've got this little wrist strap, which I guess is kind of novel. It's not the lightest thing in the world, but I mean, if you really want to put it on your wrist, I guess maybe you can, or tote it around. I can't get my wrist in there, but you can tote it around and hang it off of something that works well. Underneath the hood here, we have the 3.5 millimeter line in jack, so you can plug that directly into your phone, which is nice if you've got the 32-bit quad DAC. If you've got like a LG G7 or some other hi-fi instruments, you can plug that in and you get better sound than over the Bluetooth. Got your micro USB to power, and then you've got your typical USB connector there to charge things, which is nice. So you can use the built-in battery bank. Once you've got it charged, if you're sitting outside barbecuing, hanging out, just plug your phone into that and it'll get you going. And like I said, it's got that IPX7 rating, so it's completely waterproof. So they say you can chunk this sucker in the water and it'll survive. So, and I'm actually going to test that out. So I'm going to make another video, and it really hurts my heart to do this because, of course, you don't want to put electronics in or near water. But they say you can use this one next to water without fear of anything happening to it. So I'm going to make another video, of course, after this one, because one, I need to make sure it works while I review it. Not that I don't believe that it won't work, but I'm going to fill up a body of water, and I'm going to leave this powered on, and I'm going to drop it in it. So stay tuned for that. It ought to be exciting, and hopefully I don't kill myself or the speaker. All right, so now that you've seen all that, I'm going to go ahead and do a sound demonstration, because what's the point of having a speaker review if you don't get to see the speaker in action? All right, so I have a subscription that I'm using to Google Play. So those of you who have laughed in the past that had Napster, I've since moved over to Google Play because it works with my smart display, and it's really nice. So I'll start it off with something a little bit lively and exciting. If you like some early 90s music and like Ace of Base, it's a nice little dance, little jig. I'll play this, you can hear it, and I'll move the microphone over so you can get a better experience. I'm going to turn the volume all the way up, which is probably going to wake the neighbors next door. Not really, but when my wife and kids came home earlier, they were like, oh my gosh, we can hear this out in the driveway because I'm using it in my kitchen. So I'll go ahead and fire this up now. And you can see here the volume, if it'll focus. There we go. So turn the volume up. There we go. So that's just a little bit of a demonstration there with a nice dance music from the 90s, so you get a good feel for it. It's got some really good bass. The vocals are good. As you can see down there on the bottom, I've got the volume turned down. You can see that the lights are kicking. So this is what it means by where it beats in sync with the music. So you've got all these cool LEDs that are going off, different colors, red, yellow, green, blue, white, and it's really neat because not only do you get the sound, but you get the light show that goes along with it. So you can press the little LED light button here, and you can change it so you can get it to where it kind of does this slow pulsating thing with the two different colors, because it has two different sets of LED lights in there that work in tandem. So you can see we've got the blue, and then it's got the yellow that kicks in there, but it also changes colors. This one, I believe it's a pulse mode. It chases and goes all the way around. And then there's off. And then this is glow mode. So what it does in glow mode is it slowly changes from one color to another, which is also nice. and then we've got back into the sync or beat driven mode. So I'll go ahead and leave that right there. Now I'll find another song to demo this out with. Let's see. I don't know, 80s rock ballads. I do like 80s music. Scorpion sounds good. Here we go. Rock You Like a Hurricane. You know, some Van Halen would probably be good too. So let me turn this up. Alright, so I'll turn that back down. So as you can see, even between dance music, you get some nice heavy rock music going on in there. There's a really wide range of sound. The dynamic is great. It has good bass, not only just the bass like as in the drums and the beat, but also in the synthesizers and the bass guitar that's in there as well. It sounds really good. I was super happy about that. The vocals, they come through clear throughout the sound spectrum, whether it's at low volume or high volume, and it gets really loud. I don't know how well that translates over through the microphone into the video that you're watching, but it does sound really good. And one nice thing is it doesn't crack, it doesn't get tinny, the vocals don't sound forced, so even whenever you go all the way up to super loud, max volume, everything still sounds clear. And that's been one of the complaints I've had with some other media devices I've tested lately is it sounds good in certain areas, but as you go up the sound, you take the volume up, you get more power, you start to see where things kind of lose out in one of the sound spectrum areas, whether the lows, the mids, or the highs. This one is solid throughout. Now I'll play one last song here. Here we go. See, Linkin Park sounds good because I love Linkin Park. There we go. The New Divide. It's from the Transformers movie. Alright, so I'll turn them back down. Now, last but not least, the one thing I do want to talk about is the sound app. There is an app that they have specifically designed for the Flare series speakers, the Flare and the Flare Plus. It's called Soundcore. You can get that on Apple or on Amazon. Now, I'm having a little bit of a trouble with it on my iPhone. It works perfectly fine on Android, but I'm using the new iPhone XS Max, and I just downloaded the beta. So since I'm in the beta test for the software, I think that it's not quite working properly with that yet. I was not able to connect it through the app. So it still works, as you can see, perfectly fine with the iPhone. It should work with the official version of the software as far as I know, but with the beta, it seems to not be connecting through the app. So that's kind of a pain in the rear, but it works just fine this way. And also, if you have problems connecting through it on the tandem with the speakers for stereo, if you use two, I was able to do that perfectly with the Bluetooth through the actual normal Android sound interface on my Note 9, so that works fine too. And it's cool because it has Bluetooth 5.0, this is the first speaker I've tested with Bluetooth 5.0, and it has up to a 66-foot range on it as well. So it works solid, great connectivity. You don't have to be next to it, don't have to be near it. You can have it pretty much anywhere, probably in your house, and it works just fine. But if you want to check out the app, it does give you the ability to change and customize the lighting. You can customize the sound profile a little bit, so you can maximize the sound for your own listening experience, but you can also adjust the lights, and there's different modes in there which have different light profiles as well. So that's pretty cool. And I'm going to put a link in the drop down because I wrote a full review that's going to be on AndroidCentral.com with the community review team. And I have some screenshots. You can go and see what the app looks like, and also learn more about the different modes and how they work and impact the light and sound experience. But anyway, that's all I have for today for the Anker Soundcore Flare Plus. Like I said, you can pick it up on Amazon.com for $99.99, and of course it qualifies for Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. So I really love it. This is probably, if I had to say, it's the best Bluetooth speaker that I've had the opportunity to review. And also, it's a really good upgrade from the Soundcore Flare. It's got 25 watts of power that's powering the 4 speakers that's in there with the 4 different drivers. And it's, as you can see from the sound experience and also the presentation here, the sound quality is great. So thank you again for tuning in. Again, this is the Soundcore Flare Plus. And as always, ask questions. If you want to ask any specific questions regarding the speaker, go ahead and put them in the comment section. I like to get back to you as soon as possible. Hit the subscribe button, and I will see y'all next time.